Hello, good morning, business builders. Jodie here from Top Tip Tuesday, and this is the very last Top Tip Tuesday for term 3. So hopefully you're going to be tuning in. I've just got to jump over and check the comments. I know we had one from, oops, my screen's just gone a bit funny, from Suzanne, who was talking about a fast way to put together the content for her program. So I just want to go to that comment quickly. In fact, what I might do is I can bring it up on my screen. And the other thing that I want to share with you today, which is really cool. Hello, I see we've got a couple of people tuning in. Thanks so much for watching. Give me a comment to let me know you're here. Hey, Joe, how are you? What I want to do today is also share with you a bit of bonus hot tips from the Business Bootcamp. So last week we had our epic 4-day Business Bootcamp, and we were really lucky to have Amy Springhall, the founder of Edge PR Communications and Leadership, in the house. And she took us through some incredible activities to really get everyone thinking about how to be more visible in their business. So this week's top tips is jam-packed full of some good stuff. If you have any questions while you're tuning in live, please remember to post them in the comments and I will answer them. And I'm just going to come up here. For some reason, my live didn't go live through to, I don't know what's going on right now, through the group. So this isn't actually streaming through to the actual post that it's supposed to be. But I've got a couple of questions. Where is the top tip link? Says Suzanne. Can't seem to find it. Well, I'm right here, Suzanne, talking into the group. All right, so Suzanne's question. Hi, Jodes. I'm flat out with Design to Thrive consulting clients after my 3 weeks for NLP. Yes, good morning, Suzanne. For some reason, it went live to the wrong place. I don't know why, but it's in the group, which is great. You're obviously finding me. That's a good sign. Good morning, Suzanne Murphy. I am literally on your question right now, just about to draw it out. So, I feel like I never have the time or energy to write my Wake Effect program. Is there a format, I suppose, like Format for Prezos, that will make it easier for me to get it done? Yes, there is, Suzanne. You are in the right place. Let's do that first and foremost. So what I want to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to bring up Notability. And let me just get rid of some stuff in the background. And we'll do share screen. And if all things work well, boom, here we are. So, Suzanne Murphy, this is for you. If you are looking to design your program, keep it super simple. Now, remember what's the number one rule that I always talk about when we talk about creating a program? Build it only at a design level, sell it, then build it out. Don't sell it or don't build it fully until you've sold it. We want to test the market and make sure someone's actually going to pay for this. Plus, we want to make sure that you don't suffer from analysis paralysis or procrastination and end up spending a year making a perfect program. I've seen people do this and then never get it out to the market, and by the time it's finally done, the market's shifted and no one cares. So here's what we want to do. In the simplest of ways, this is a really great way to design your program. First point is you want to understand where are your people starting from. So what is their starting point? Second point is what is the result that they want to achieve. So we have our start and our end result. And then we draw a line between the two. And then basically you map out what are the steps along the way that need to happen. And we've done this, Suzanne, so you should already have this. It's called your program skeleton. And this becomes module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, etc. You get the swing of it. Module 5. Now, in each module, module 1 is always going to be your welcome module. So in the welcome module, it's just your yay, you're here video. You then give them an overview of what to expect. You're going to talk about your story and your why. Why have you created this program? And then you're going to give them a guided tour. Now, ironically, the guided tour is not something that's easy to do until the rest of the program at least has been developed out, but you can give them a high-level guided tour. What I mean by a guided tour is just do a screen share and say if there's a Facebook group or if there's other places that they need to go besides the online membership, just talk them through all of the places that they need to go and what they need to do. I recommend, if you get really stuck, is go back to the Lifestyle Business Builder original program, not LBB 2.0, but LBB original, and literally look at the structure that we've used and dissect it and follow that format. So basically, you'll have your welcome module, then your module 2 will be the first step. Step 1, whatever it might need to be. So, for example, in LBB, it's getting your vision right. In our welcome module, we have also a little bit of a plan where we teach them the story. So you can map this out literally in 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. Once you've done that, you just dot point, what are all the things that I want to cover in the vision module? What are all the things that I want to cover in module 3, which for us is about beliefs? What are all the things I want to cover in module 4? And so there's this very simple skeleton that we start to build. And in fact, again, in LBB, Suzanne, if you go to module 3, products and services, I talk you through exactly how to do this. If it feels hard, it's because it's hard in your head. It is a very, very simple process. And the most important thing is once you've got your skeleton, that you don't sit and start building it, but that you have a really clear sense of the journey that you can take people through, and you start testing the market with it and saying, hey, this is something I'm bringing out. Would you be interested? Let's see if we can get an organization to put 20 of their leaders through it. And then boom, you say, all right, it's going to be launching early 2021. The nice thing about right now is we're right towards the end of the year. So you could say, yep, it's going to be launching in February 2021. And we've got between now and February 2021, you can go sooner if you want, Suzanne, to start filling it once we've got this skeleton. If you struggle with the skeleton, jump on the call with me today at 10 till 12 or this Thursday night. This is the last week, and then we've got 2 weeks off the school holidays. And I can literally map this out. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that I have mapped this out with you before. Yes, here she is. Brilliant. I remember now I was overcomplicating it. That's what people do, so that's very common. Absolutely. Keep it simple. What we then want to do is use your marketing and branding skills to just sell it on a simple page. Here's what it'll do for you. Here's the journey that we'll cover. Here's what you'll get as the end result. And basically, we could literally set ourselves a goal right now if we wanted to, Suzanne, and I'd love you to type in the goal if you can think of one, the month that you want to launch it. Will it be at the start or the end of that month? So you might say February 2021, or you might say, no, I'm ready to go sooner. It's going to be January or March or whatever. Pick the month. Pick the start or the end of that month. Will you launch it at the start of the month or the end of that month that you pick? And then let's decide how many people you want to get in it by then. Every single step between here and that launch date is more about promoting and getting super clear on the journey rather than sitting behind the scenes and actually building the modules. When we launched the Lifestyle Business Builder, I'd only built one module, and then I just basically got into the arena, and every week I created a new module. And the value of doing that was, as people were digesting one module, I was coaching them through it as well, and I got really clear insight into their inner journey through the program. So when I developed the second module, I had the structure and the skeleton, so I knew what I was going to cover. But when I was creating my videos for the second module, I was able to really speak to the things that the first module brought up. And that flowed on, and I learned a lot about the client journey by doing it that way. So look at this, Suzanne has got a launch date. Yay! So Suzanne, we're launching January 2021. I love this, the sooner the better. And we can get this done really great. How many people are we going to get in there? That's the next goal. And she said, I thought I'd have to build all modules mapped out before I could build the interest. Absolutely not. And that's a really common misconception that a lot of people make. In fact, building all the modules out and even recording all the modules before you've tested the market and got interest is a big no-no. So I don't ever want anyone to do that, because I've seen it done before, and I've seen people spend literally 6 months to a year on a program that nobody wants and that they couldn't sell. And then they've realized when they launched it, it needed to be tweaked and changed. Hot tip, the case study is a really great way to launch a program, to do a test case, as well as running webinars. So Suzanne, I reckon between now and January, it would be great if we could book in maybe 3 or 4 webinars for you to do October, November, maybe one in December, and you can start running through the content structure in your webinars, teaching them a bit, and then getting the people interested. If we can get, and John Mihalandis from Melbourne, our beautiful self-made millionaire, John did this beautifully with Project My Profit. We structured it out, he put it out to the market, and he got his 10 places for $3,000 a pop for his first trial run, 30 grand before the program even opened. And once it opened, he was absolutely ready to rock and roll, and it was exciting. So super fun and easy way to build your program. The other thing is, in LBB 2.0, there is also a 2-hour masterclass I did on how to build your online program, your evergreen program. So that's probably a good one for you to watch as well. But keep it simple. Joe says, yes, the case study is amazing. I launched and filled my course. You absolutely did. And Joe actually is a great example of what the case study can do, because she launched and filled her online program, and then it gave her the confirmation that yes, there's an audience, yes, women want this, and yes, I'd like to deliver it at a high-end one-on-one journey. And so it gave Joe the vision, the confidence, and the clarity that her business model was able to pivot and do that high-end elevate your look style journey program, which is super cool. And I can say that because I've just started it and so far am absolutely loving it. Thank you, Joe. Suzanne's got a question about webinars. Webinars, do I charge for them or free? Look, that's a great question, Suzanne, and you can do either or. I think when you're starting out, it's a good idea to do a couple for free just to test the waters. Once you've got a good and engaged community, rather than doing a webinar and a paid masterclass or workshop slightly different, you could do a couple of free webinars just to get people on and start building your community. But what you could do from your free webinar is go, here's the part I think people really want. I'd like to do a workshop that maybe goes for 2.5 hours, and people are very open to signing up for 2-hour, 3-hour, even 8-hour or 2-day workshops online now, thanks to COVID, and you could charge for that. So that's a really great point. Hot tip for everybody, whatever used to be done in a room where you would charge for events can now be done online, because people are open, willing, and even in some cases more susceptible to that sort of stuff. Susceptible is the wrong word. More eager for that sort of stuff. Plus it opens you up instantly to a national market. So hopefully that helps. We go with the starting point, we map out our lines all the way to the result, and then basically build your skeleton. Sorry for the messy drawing. All right, I want to talk about this picture. So this is a snapshot from our epic business boot camp. And during the business boot camp, we had guest speaker Amy Springhall, the one in the middle there, talk through some copy and PR techniques. And she started her session with 13 things. We had to all stand up, and if we weren't doing one of these things, we had to sit down. So by the end of it, there was 2 of us left standing, myself and Catherine. What I love about these 13 things is this is a fantastic checklist that you should be using to make yourself more visible in business. And this is a biggie. As Amy said, her number 1 hot tip for people who want to build a business is be visible. And I see this happening all the time. People go, oh, okay, I've been building my business behind the scenes for the last 6 months or 8 months. And now I've decided in 3 weeks I want to launch my first program. And it's like, well, you know what? It's going to be really hard because number 1, no one knows who you are. Number 2, no one knows what you do. And number 3, you've kept yourself the world's best secret for the last 6 to 8 months while you've been building your program. So right from today, before you've even got anything to sell, we should all start being visible with our vision and our ideas. And here's a hot tip. This is something that I talked about in the boot camp as well. I came up with a bit of a brainwave and said to everyone, you know what? Do not build a business. Just don't build a business. Instead, lead a movement. So from here on in, I recommend that you stop thinking of yourself as a business builder, but instead as a revolutionary leader on a mission to make the world a better place in your particular micro niche. And I just got to give acknowledgement to Suzanne. Thanks so much, Jodes. Just the start to the day I needed. Hoping to see you soon, Thursday night Zoom. Brilliant. I'm so glad that that was helpful, Suzanne. And congrats on being fully booked. It's wonderful that you're getting so much work. And I'm really thrilled that I can catch up with you hopefully Thursday. And we can get the plan in place and get your program off the ground. All right. So we're going to jump into the 13 things that Amy shared with me. But before I do that, I've just got to quickly check the questions. Mary says, how do you add captions to Facebook Live video uploads into Facebook? I heard Facebook can automatically add captions, can't seem to work it out. Now, Mary, that is a brilliant question. And you know what? It is doing it for me, and I don't know how or why. I'll tell you who the person to ask, though, is our amazing in-house Facebook wizard, Adair Palmer. So anything Facebook related like that, I would definitely just tag Adair. For some reason, when I post these, the captions do come up a lot of the time in Facebook, but I don't know how or why they do that. I just got lucky somewhere. Where should I put my direct Facebook posting energy? To my business page or my group page? You mentioned at Business Camp, do our lives in our main page and share to the group page. Does the Facebook algorithms that Catherine Jones was talking about apply to both business and group pages? I feel like group pages is my direct target market and my business page is a broader net. Maybe I should put equal effort into them both. I'm never really sure. Brilliant. So Mary said, great, I'll ask Adair. Thanks, Mary. She'll be much wiser than me about that. Suzanne Ingleton, this one's for you. Facebook business page, Facebook private group. Where do we put our energy? Fantastic question. Oh, look, Suzanne, Mary, this is for you. Suzanne says, there is a setting in Facebook I found accidentally, so I can't remember where. So there you go, Mary, just stumble around in the back end. Suzanne, you're just like me. We trip over these things and go, oh, yeah, well, that's good. That's working. So let's talk about Facebook page and group page. Now, I recommend Facebook page all the way unless your group is full and thriving and people are interacting. Building a Facebook group is a strategy in itself. And what you don't want to do is have this closed group that people don't engage with and put all your energy and effort into marketing in there. Right now, Suzanne, you're at a space where we want to position you out to the general public and we want you in as front of as many eyeballs as possible so they can see clearly who you are and what you do. So I recommend, number one, primary focus, your Facebook page. The group is not a page, it's a group, and your group is a closed group where, like LBB, you have people who already know, like, and trust you, and they're there to learn and implement some of the strategies that you share out on your Facebook page. So the Facebook page is your positioning. It's where unknowns are going to find you. It's where people will follow you regularly, and getting a group to be active and engaged is an entirely different strategy and technique in itself. So I would recommend that you put all your energy into your page right now, invite people to the group, and do something regular in the group that's simple, that's low effort and high reward. A simple Top Tips Tuesday could be easy, or a monthly little mini masterclass, or just sharing value add. The ultimate group is where you get others in the group contributing regularly. So we need to design the group so that it does that. Hopefully that helps. Go all in on your page. That's what I want to say. Genevieve, wow, we've got lots of questions this week, which is fantastic. Genevieve says, what can I use my keynote for? Is there anywhere you recommend I try to repurpose it for? Any conferences or places you think might like to hear it? I feel like I'm on a roll and I want to do it again. Now, this is great, Genevieve. I love that. Hot tip, I recommend that next time you do your keynote that you really master it and you challenge yourself. It was such a well-constructed keynote, but you challenge yourself to have no notes in your hand, so you don't read it. And if you're ready for that challenge, then I suggest that you nominate yourself as a TEDx speaker for Adelaide. So Adelaide TEDx is coming up in November. They are currently open and looking for speakers. It's a very simple process to get on the TEDx website and pop yourself in there. The other place that you could share this is with local councils to their members. But what you'll need to do is take the general construct of it and reposition it for your audience. So your message was very much about inspiring youth to create a better world. And what I recommend is that you then take this to maybe the councils where they have different youth projects and youth programs, and you offer to deliver it as a free visionary talk to help them understand better what you're doing. Another place that you could approach is if there's a conference that's for schools and teachers. So any large professional community, whether it be online or whether it be face-to-face, like conferences and conventions, that's all about people that work with youth, teachers, educators, community sectors, anywhere like that, I would get onto Google and say, right, where are the events and how can you put yourself forward as a potential speaker? If there aren't events that you can find, I mean, TEDx, definitely nominate yourself there, Jen. But if there aren't any events that you can find, then I definitely recommend that you actually approach some of the local councils and some of the schools and let them know that you delivered this presentation, that it was incredibly well received, and you thought it would be a really nice message for them and that you'd love to customize it. You can offer to do it for free, or you can do it as a paid event. I think offering to do it for free right now, just to start spreading the word, is a really great idea. So I love that you're already thinking about that, Jen. You've put all the energy into developing the keynote. Let's get it out there and let's get you running it 3 or 4 times more. And let's get you to a point where you don't need the notes in your hand. That's a really big next step, which will be exciting. And check out this. Great idea, Mary. Create your own event with it as well. So I think that could be a great idea. Okay, let me just double check. I think I've answered everybody's questions, which is fantastic. 6 comments, they're all there. Brilliant, brilliant. Now I'm going to share with you, and I have to say these are giving credit where credit's due, the tips that came from the amazing Amy Springhall, who spoke at our business boot camp for a full day on copy and PR and how to be more visible in your business. The 13 things, and you might want to write these down, folks, the 13 things that you can be doing in your business starting this minute to be able to become more visible. Are you ready for them? I wonder if I have a drum roll anywhere. Do we do drum rolls? No. We've just got this. All right, that's enough to wake you up and get ready for them. So what I'd love you to do in your mental mind as well is say, am I currently doing this? If not, why not? And when will I begin? So make mini commitments with yourself along all of these 13. So the first one is networking. Are you going to different events, different workshops, different conferences? Obviously, if you're in Melbourne, it's all going to be online for you. But are you connecting to other communities and building relationships, letting people know what you do, and just chatting? You know, it's interesting. When Amy did this, I sat down straight away and went, ugh, no, I don't, because I hate networking events. It's not true. I actually quite like some networking events. But I go to a lot of educational events, and interestingly enough, in the areas that I go and visit, they are my target market. When I go to a speaker's masterclass, when I go to a learn how to become a better coach, when I go and do all these things, whether they be for myself or just for developing my skills to a next level, I'm meeting my target audience all the time. So Amy said, hang on a minute, stand back up, Jodes. I think you are doing this, which is true, I was. So networking doesn't mean I'm going to B&I events and I'm showing up at every networking thing and shoving my business card in people's faces. It means I'm out of my bubble and I'm connecting with people. LBB is a place that you can network, LBB being the Lifestyle Business Builder, and just in that forum alone, lots of great collaborations are born, and in fact, many people grow their business by getting customers from that space there. So make sure you're doing that. The second one, is what you do super clear? Do people know what you want to be famous for? Do they know that you're a master in leadership development? Or do they know that you're a specialist in working with people's health and resetting their health? Do they know that you're a major property developer that can help women turn lazy money into financial wealth? Is what you do super clear, and are you known for that? If not, then let's work on that. Number 3, are you adding value on social media consistently? And she said minimum 3 posts a week, where it's not just sharing, pictures of your puppy, but actual content that can help people go, wow, that's really valuable. Wow, that's a message I needed to hear right now today. Hot tip on the social media sharing, work out loud. This was the terminology that Amy used, is work out loud. If you've just learned something, if you've just put that down a book that you've read and there was a little thing that you think would add value to your community, do a short post and share it in the moment. And this is the stuff that Catherine was talking about. After the boot camp, she just started working out loud more, and she noticed that the more she shared, after being fairly silent on her page for some time, the more the algorithm said, hey, this woman's active, hey, this woman's got stuff to share, we're going to show her to even more people. So be adding value on social media regularly. Many of you are doing that. Some of you are not. Let's make sure that you are. Minimum 3 posts a day. I reckon a great goal to strive for is actually 1 post a day if you're on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. 1 thing a day, only on 1 platform is fine. You can do multiple if you're doing them through scheduling. So let's say you're using Later or something, but 1 platform is really best to just focus on and double down on. All right, number 4, do you have a unique perspective that you're clear on, and are you sharing that regularly? So what she means by this is you're not just vanilla, but you know what you stand for, and your unique perspective about how to achieve that result is very clear in your own mind, and it comes through in your voice as you're sharing your content. And this is a biggie, and this is the area that I see a lot of people fall down, is because they go into this sort of general jack of all trades, end up sounding like every single person out there. And the number one thing you can do to cut through is uncover your unique perspective about how to build a business, or your unique perspective about how to be a better leader, or how to transform your life, improve your health, whatever the industry is, how to set up HR policies in the workplace. Any single thing that is done in the industry that you're a coach, consultant, or expert around can be done in a unique and unconventional way. Find your unique and unconventional perspective and make sure that that's clear in your own mind and that it comes through in your voice as you are being visible. Have you written helpful blogs and articles? So these can be your own blogs, or these can be long form posts, which are literally articles that give people the 7 things to do if you want to find your purpose, 3 ways to become an influential leader, 6 steps to overcoming the fear of public speaking. So there's helpful blogs and articles. Have you written any, and are you doing that as part of your practice? You don't have to do a lot of them. In fact, sometimes you can have a helpful blog or article, and if you design it clever, and Amy talked a lot about how to do this, if you design it cleverly at the right time, that one helpful blog or article can become a tool that goes viral and is constantly being a lead generation source of having people want to land on your website, opt in for a freebie, and get to know what you do in a much deeper way. Helpful blogs and articles, super cool thing to do. Number 6, have you been nominated for or ever won any awards? Do you even know what the awards are in your industry? So hot tip, get yourself around them. And an even hotter tip, the Freedom Awards are coming up this year. So last year I gave away random awards to some of our top performing business builders. This year it's going to be a thing. I'm getting beautifully designed trophies for you, and there's going to be 7 incredible awards given out. So are you going to be nominated for one of those? Maybe you're going to nominate yourself. Maybe you're going to put your eye on the prize and actually make sure you win one. There are other awards out there besides the Freedom Awards that could be great for your business as well. Number 7, do you know what your number 1 takeaway would be if you were invited to speak at the TED conference today? Or if you were given a call by someone and they said, hey, we want to get you to come and speak to all of our community. Do you know right away what your number 1 takeaway, your key message would be for your keynote presentation? Number 8, do you get invited to do interviews on podcasts, on conferences, on radios, whatever it might be? Is your voice something that other people say, hey, we need to get you in as an expert and share your views on whatever it is that you do? If it's not happening yet, let's position you so that it does. Number 9, are you speaking at events, whether they be your own events, online webinars are speaking at events, or whether they be other people's events like conferences and programs and workshops, large summits, etc. Are you doing that stuff? Number 10, have you written for other publications? Amy talked a lot about ways that you can write copy and then get it to editors and get your content, your hot tips, your blogs shared with the general public on Huffington Post or Thrive or all of these other great publications, whatever they might be for you. Another hot tip, there's a website called Source Bottle. You can subscribe to Source Bottle and every day get emails to let you know what are editors looking for in terms of content right now. So you can actually put yourself on a list and then you can put through some submissions. And we had people doing that in the boot camp on the day. And in fact, quite often within a week or 2 of the boot camp, many people have had their work published or been invited to speak on a podcast or an interview with the radio and all of this other cool stuff. So this is stuff that really does work, I can say for sure, but only if you do it. Number 11, have you developed a content series? So Top Tips Tuesday is a content series. It's as simple as this. Get a title, show up every day or every week or every month, whenever it might be, with a consistent theme and flavor. Other content series that I've done is I Love Mondays. I did a blog on that for a whole year, and I went and interviewed other mums that have quit their job and launched a business. I've also done Find Your Freedom TV, where I interviewed different people about how they've found their own sense of freedom, whether it be mental, physical, emotional, or financial freedom. And doing those content series is a really great way to build a following. What would your content series be about? So we had Joe and Sue in the boot camp, and they decided they're going to do 2 grannies on a couch. Joe is a personal stylist and really wants to lead a movement where women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s can actually be visible and feel like that is a great time to invest in finding their fabulous wow factor and not having to become an invisible has-been in life. So Joe talked about then going, wow, we could go and interview uber stylish nanas and learn from these women and actually just even really poke the conventional wisdom of what a nana with a Zimmer frame and her knitting and her blue rinse or whatever looks like. And in fact, these days, a nana can be someone who looks super fab and super stylish and is not even what you would expect a nana to be. In fact, we've got a lot of nanas in the LBB community who definitely are not nannery. They don't look like your typical nanas. So lots of fun can happen when you start to brainstorm a potential content series. Number 12, have you had a book published, or do you have a book concept mapped out that you are developing? So if you've got a book and a structure of a published thing, a really great way to become more visible. And number 13, are you actively building a network of influential people? People who know who's who in the zoo, people who can support what you do, people who can connect you with other cool people as well. All right, so this is a big Top Tips Tuesday for the week. We're going out with a bang. Let me just double check if there's any questions or comments that have come up as I've been going through it. Oh, good morning, Marianne. You're here. I'm just wrapping up now. Thanks for tuning in live. For all of you that have tuned in live, thanks so much for that. Remember, this is the last week of Term 3. Coaching call at 10 a.m. Tuesday. We've got the coaching call Thursday night as well. And check in the events to see what else is happening. Then we've got 2 weeks holiday. And we're back for the final term of 2020, which is pretty exciting. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I'll see you all very soon in the arena. Bye-bye.